What's your Instagram handle?
It's biology. Who's in design?
Sanket, Malika, talk to Bala.
Design. हो गया
नहीं बोलना था बोल भाई बोल दे
नहीं like next time before you design just ask I'll tell you last night I told one rectangle like then I design it you use Photoshop or
इधर नहीं आधा आधा अरे हम
go to free illustration website
किसी को ऐसा उधर बाहर ना जाए
you'll get this illustration
बाहर
go to free like
हाँ मैं और
you get
आराम से
like
आराम
these templates
अगर तुम्हें लग रहा है बंदे बाहर
play
गए
around
एक बंदा बाहर जाओ फ्री illustration
free vectors
एंड प्लस किसी को
this
वॉशरूम
one
जाना
right
है
yes
सेकंड ईयर वाले को थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है क्योंकि बहुत लोग का जीवा क्लियर नहीं है ना योगा करने जाते हैं ऊपर हां 5:30
हाँ उनका चालू है जीवा है
एक बार ही होगा
जीवा है
अरे इसका कौन लगा है ना ब्रो
आने के लिए
हां
बाप रे टेस्ट वगैरह जीवा का
और क्या सूर्य नमस्कार सही से कैसे करते वो दिखाना है क्या
मंत्र
ए यार
डूड यू नो लॉकडाउन में भी बिना क्लियर होगा
बाप रे लॉल
मैं बोला क्या था जीवा
Archana Thosar Financial Marketing. Nice to meet you.
बिना
What is your brand?
ENT
ENT.
so
Financial
much I have to complete
but yeah, we have to.
why didn't I
All things ready?
real life
First event. Nervousness. You got this, man.
yeah हो जाएगा
Yep. So it will be live streamed right?
it's already live
Already.
yeah
So we are making a countdown.
डैम लैपटॉप फैन लगेगा इसमें डालने के लिए कंटेंट दो क्या
What's the model that is built for the
GF63 thin yeah
what bro? Gamer?
no I'm like
For editing stuff.
yeah I freelance na
Yeah. Oh, you freelance?
yeah
Nice.
fiber
What is your domain then? Freelance. Editing and
वो
media.
तैयार थे इससे
I'm a designer
तो 5 मिनट
video editing
Nice. How many years have you in that?
almost 2 years now
2 years. It's a great experience. You must have seen a lot of different types of people.
yes basically artist one
Yeah, I guess because they need to know. So which side you mostly prefer?
no I have contacts
Contact
basis
Contact basis. So on a contract basis, you can say.
yeah
Yeah, because most of the time people use a Fiverr industry.
no that does not work
Does not work. I see.
if you have contacts
You have to use the contacts.
right now I'm working with government projects Meghalaya
Oh,
project
nice. Nagaland project.
yeah Meghalaya for tourism
I see. So that editing stuff and basically media and it's good. So how you funded your concept? From the work or
to work
some
I did some stuff free
free? Yeah, I see. From free you get your the recommendations.
Yeah.
And your recommendations more and more out.
and then I recently started my production house also
Oh, I see. Nice.
so
What's the name?
five people are working
I see. What's the name?
this production
These products. Good. So are you planning for any collaborations with outside companies and these companies?
no I don't do news
You don't need news, but just for any collaboration stuff.
like branding and
Okay. So if there is any product, let's say the watch, so you will be taking their projects as the marketing and branding stuff,
digital marketing
digital marketing stuff, right? And social media. And Interesting. He's going to sitting on the front row now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep or I'm just going to sleep. That's my idea. Which branch are you? I'm from metallurgy. Yes. Good. Okay. It's just theory and just mug up on this.
I met you that day and you said you can get me cheap flight tickets.
Yeah, I know. Sammy did talk to me about that. You fucking need to book immediately. That's high already.
No, I won Delhi, October.
October Delhi. Give me the date, time.
I'm going to Justin Bieber's concert.
Yeah, what?
Justin Bieber's concert.
Oh, really? Yes, tickets मिल गए? Book कर लिए.
कल 12 p.m.
When is it? 11th, right? Like
18th of
18th. 1 week. Okay. Cool. So just for that, या फिर you're gonna stay in Delhi for some time as well?
I'm not sick. My sister's in St. Stephen.
In?
St. Stephen.
Oh, okay. So Stephen's for you. DU basically.
First to the third.
Battery?
100%. I think so.
Yeah, in a minute.
Have a nice. You want to. But we have anything available if you want to write it.
Is this the screen?
Yes.
I don't know.
Good evening. A warm welcome to one and all present here. I am Aishwarya Pillai, and as a member of the Consulting Club at CoEP, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Six Hats Technique Workshop. As the saying goes, try to learn something about everything and everything about something. It's never too late to learn something new. The Consulting Club at CoEP is honored to present the seminar on the Six Hats Technique. The Six Thinking Hats approach, developed by Edward de Bono, is a way of investigating an issue from a variety of perspectives in a clear and conflict-free way. It's a simple and effective thinking process that helps people to be more productive, focused, and mindfully involved. Indeed, a powerful tool set which once learned can be applied effectively. We all have gathered here to learn more and understand the know-how of this technique. And now it gives me great pleasure to welcome our esteemed guest, Dr. Archana Thosar Ma'am, to enlighten us about this technique. Thosar Ma'am is the Dean, RAD, from the Electrical Department. She holds more than 5 research papers to her name, and she also acquired her PhD from IIT Kharagpur in Control Systems. She has got a teaching experience of more than 25 years. Ma'am, the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for inviting me for this explaining you to about the 6 thinking hat techniques. Am I audible?
Yes.
So, what's your name? I forgot. Aishwarya. So Aishwarya introduced me very nicely. So I will make some correction. Like I am working as a Dean Research and Development for College of Engineering Pune. So for all departments, not for electrical, and working as a professor in electrical engineering department. Why I am clearing this? Because anything which comes to your mind, because I will take opportunity here now to as a Dean R&D, anything comes to your mind, like any idea which comes to your mind, and you want it to be patented or to file as a patent, so you can come to me. I will help you out. You are doing any mini project, micro project, or a major project, and you feel that it is a unique one, innovative, no one has done, and you want to file, you can come to me. Even if you want to write papers, publications, want to apply for some project funding, so you can come to me. I can facilitate you on all these aspects. So anyone from every department is connected to me, so anyone from any department can come, not only electrical. So today what I am going to discuss about is the 6 thinking hats. So what is the use of it, and why we should use it, or what is the advantage of knowing it? So I think the last year batches, they may be knowing it because they might have used it later on.
Yes, ma'am.
So they can also they might have shared you their experiences. So it's really a very systematic approach to think. So sometimes people think that what is there in thinking? Thinking to apne aap aa jata hai. Or I am so great that my thinking will be very correct one, right? I cannot think in a wrong way, or I cannot be not systematic in thinking, or not systematic in organizing thoughts. We are really little bit overconfident about it, right? Everyone, like we have that biased about ourselves that we can think systematically. What I am thinking is a systematic approach. But if it is true, then we have seen a lot of chaos outside. Like everywhere is a chaotic situation. Like suppose if you want to organize this workshop today, then there will be a little bit blah 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 blah. What's going on? Because few people will say, इसका मतलब क्या है? क्यों लगेगा? Was like where you people benefited? Why I should waste my time? Shall I go to other assignment and all? So what was this? Like everything is chaotic in mind. Many plus minuses and many things are coming to your mind. So and then what we do? We keep on discussing these things, wasting our time. We even didn't understand that we have wasted 1 hour or 45 minutes. It happens with everyone. It happens with us. Like we meet weekly in our meeting at in college to decide the future plans. academic plans, research plans, then the industrial consultancy, then student development plan, and then the same thing happens. We do not understand, like we started today at 3:30 and we never understood when it was 5:45. And then if we write down the things what we have achieved, then only 4-5 things which are, there was nothing new which we have very obvious, and we have concluded those obvious things only. But there was quite lot a discussion. But if it would have been a structured one, we would have finished in 30 minutes and would have felt more stress free and could give more time to some productive things. Some efficiently, we could have done more things efficiently. So 6 thinking hats is introduced by Edward de Bono. There are many groups which certifies. I am not a certified trainer because when you become a certified trainer, you can say my view is that then you become little commercialized, and then you go on look at it as a commercial and then professional. And when something becomes a commercial and professional, you cannot connect with the people. That professionalism and commercial things do not connect to the people. So I usually believe in a class or in any session or any training that there should be a connection. Once you get connected, then you can get more out of it. That's why, but you people can go for the you can certification, and you can become a trainer for this. There are many organizations, and you can earn a lot of money because most of the good companies, they hire the people who knows the 6 thinking hat. So in India, it has started with the Tatas. Like when we learned, it was like you can see that it was 24 years back when first time I got introduced to it. So the Tatas have circulated it amongst all the educational institutes that we must understand what is this Edward de Bono. And that time only this Edward de Bono's lateral thinking process and all these things, all these words have started coming to India and becoming popular in Indian industry and Indian corporate, even in Indian education system. So this was the something like a lateral thinking or thinking systematically, we can say in a small word. As somebody at the beginning of the class, beginning of the session, I just said that please request everyone to come forward because sitting out away from this, then there is a problem with the connection. Like we'll not feel that we are a close group. So somebody was saying, "Hey, आगे आ जाइए lecture नहीं है." So we always feel the lecture is so boring because I will tell you, because we are not again organizing it systematically. If we would have organized it systematically, the listening as well as the delivery, and then it gets synchronized, then the things will be more effective and better and interesting. So basically, I think this background is sufficient to you that why we should go for a 6 thinking hat. So it is a systematic way of thinking. In what situation we should use it? So it is a simple, effective, parallel thinking process that helps people be more productive, focused, and mindfully involved. So mindfully involvement is more important because sometimes we sit there, we listen also, we are very attentive, but our mind is not involved. It is not getting internalized, or I am not getting connected to that event. Then you are not able to give it out. There are 2 things. Like one is that once you receive it and then reproduce it, the receiving happens, but the reproduce, when you want to reproduce it, then the efficiency differs from person to person. Like A person can reproduce it as it is 100%, B maybe 90%, 60%, even 70% person, when I'm saying it's reproducing it, but a very different perspective he might have taken it. So the correct perspective and then reproducing it with a correct perspective is a important aspect in any learning or in any communication. And that's why the mindfully involvement is very important. So mindfulness, you all know that there are many training programs on how to be mindful. Then a powerful tool set which once learned can be applied immediately. It's very easy technique, systematic way only. You can Google it out, understand it, and from Google also you can understand. Then few people maybe thinking that why we are here. We are here because then we can discuss it out, and whatever remains in our mind which is not understanding can be resolved. It can be answered. So project managers, so who can use this? So the project managers, those who are responsible for doing many things. 1 minute. So this I will explain you about the blue hat. So as I explained, it is about the Edward de Bono. So there are groups, Edward de Bono groups, and they are available on the website, on the internet, and I will give the link also. So purposes is again to simplify thinking by allowing the thinker to deal with one thing at a time, and to allow a switch in thinking. If a person is persistently negative, he or she can be asked to take up the black thinking and then switch to another color. So I will explain you how the color of the hats. So just is that purposes is to, like, sometimes what happens, like suppose if you try to have some debate, like whether we should go online or offline for now teaching. So somebody is so strong about no, I want online itself. So he's not going out of that his assumption or his view. So what you can do at that time, you can break the you have to break the thinking, so that he can think the other side of it, right? So these are the ways to deal with this. So benefits are helps looking at important decisions from a number of different perspectives. As I said, the perspectives are different. When I am saying something, everyone accepts it in a different perspective. Even after that, everyone reproduces it in a different perspective. So in my class, I have done simple exercise today itself. So I said, I was teaching optimal control, and I said that what is the optimal control problem? I said optimal control problem is basically the whole syllabus is to find out a optimal control input, which is going to minimize some performance measure on given a plan. This was a simple definition which I told them, and I just asked the few students to reproduce it. Everyone was telling something different, which is not this. People are adding something like there's a plant, there are constraints, the plant is non-linear, plant is this, plant is not defined. The words which I have not even used, they were adding to it without any thinking, and those words are making a difference in meaning. So why it is happening? Because not thinking one thing at a time or not able to organize the things, then helps making better decisions by pushing people to move outside of their habitual ways of thinking. Sometimes we are very biased about something, like suppose I am a vegetarian, so I will always say, okay, non-veg is bad. So I will just keep on saying that don't eat chicken because it's bad, because it's my bias. I will not understand it in a other perspective. The other person might say that okay, it's a protein rich, so I wanted to have it. So can have its own perspective, can have my own perspective, and then get along with it and find out some solution. So it happens because of our habitual ways of thinking. Like we are habituated to think in that way only. Then helps understanding the full complexity of a decision and spot issues and opportunities. So it will, you can understand now, this is a very important technique actually we should use. So I will just show you what color hats are, and then I will explain you in detail again. So there are 6 hats. What is the concept over here? Like you are in a group and you wanted to do something. You want to resolve some problem, or you want to take a decision on any one of the issue. Debate, like some debate kind of a question is there, and you want to come to some conclusion. Like suppose if I want to build a dam on the river. So there are many views. Like few people are saying don't at all, because it will create such a problem. Some people are saying we want it, otherwise what we will eat, what we will have for drinking and all. So these are the 2 important issues which will be going together. So how to come to a conclusion? So these technique will help us. Now so it is a group activity. It's done in a group, and you will have the 6 virtual hats. You don't have to carry the actual hats. To make an interesting discussion, to make the discussion interesting, you can carry also and put it. But then you have to carry so many. Like you will suppose there is a group of 6 students. Then you will have to carry 6 white, 6 black, 6 green, 6 red, and 6 blue. Blue will be 1. So you have to carry all those hats. But it's a virtual cap. Only the leader will be announcing that we will be going into white hat now. So he will announce that wear a white hat. So everyone will assume that he is wearing white hat means what? The thinking will be on everyone will be thinking the same thing which white hats tell us. So what is a white hat tells us is the information, the basic facts. Okay, I will be repeating it again because it's a new concept, so there should be repetition again. So white hat gives you the information. So suppose if I want to do the online education or offline education, so first we will collect all the information. All the information means like how many colleges are there which are going for online, how many colleges similar to us, because we are talking about us. So how many colleges similar to us are going offline? Then what are the issues with the online, what are the issues with the offline? All kinds of information we will note down. So white hat, whenever we are wearing a white hat, we will be thinking about the information about that issue. So all kind of information we will be collecting it. So now you can understand which group will be more effective. The group which can collect more information, relevant information I am saying. Relevant, understand this. Otherwise, I am talking about a CoEP offline online education, and I am just thinking about something which is happening in Stanford and MIT Boston, which I cannot compare right now. The kind of devices they are using, the kind of, they are habituated for online education since 20 years. We are not. They are into distance learning since 30 years, but we are not yet. So we are not self-learners. So in online education, you might have understood that those who could do well, sincerely, genuinely, those who were self-learners, because for them just a clue what is taking, and they are committed to themselves, they were doing it. But those who are not self-learners, like they are not used to the self-learning, or not good in the self-learning, or not trained in the self-learning, then it was difficult for them, because they used to lose their context, and then out of the this communication, and then the whole class was as good as nothing for them. So this was the so we cannot compare like this. So collecting the information, the relevant information I'm saying, is more important. So whenever the leader is saying that wear a white hat, so you have to write down all information about that issue on the copy or some register, or you are digital people, so you can type in your laptop, tab, anything. Then next is the red one, you can see, that is the feelings and emotion and intuition. So now you will be writing everything about the feelings. So the leader will say that now we will wear a red hat, which is virtual, and once again repeating, no one is going to wear actual red hat. You can do as an interesting exercise, but when wear a red hat means you have to go into that perspective. So what is that? Feelings and emotions and intuitions. So you will be mentioning all feelings, intuitions and emotions about that system. So online and offline, क्या feelings है? What are your feelings? You will be noting down. Like online, you feel comfortable because you can do some household things, and there are some intuitions like, okay, it cannot be done because I am not getting connected. Offline is okay, I get a personal human touch, and then we feel better. Human connect is I need every time. So all the feelings related, right, which is coming from a heart and which is related to emotions, you have to write it down. When I said about a dam example, then the people will say, okay, whenever the river was flowing, there was a birds, there was like the trees will be cut. Then so these are with emotions, right? So I don't want to disturb the ecology. I don't want to see the nature disturbing this way. So that comes under the emotions, feelings. So you can note down all those things. Then in black, you will be critical. You will be criticizing. Okay, so what is it? What you are thinking about? You will criticize everything about it. That online education is really not giving any knowledge, because the students are copying in examinations. They are getting very good marks. Those who are not copying, then they are feeling their feelings. They are getting something depressed because they see that the others can do, and their parents are allowing, my parents are not allowing. So you can criticize it. It's not good. Even the teachers are not good into online education while teaching. They are not using the proper pedagogy and all. So you can criticize to all extent, and write down those criticisms. What are the bad things about it, right? Critical. Then you can, the leader can say that wear a yellow hat. And whenever the leader says that wear a yellow hat, you have to think everything positively. So you will remember that in the last my slide said somebody was very negative and not even moving from his decision or her decision little bit away. So the person now when he's wearing a positive or yellow hat has to think some positive part of it. Some positive part of it. So he might be like he or she will be finding out identifying some positive part of it. So he or she will think now only the positive part. So you can see that now how the thoughts are getting organized. So in a group, when you are saying the black means you are criticizing everything. When you are saying red means you are writing only emotions. So now there is no competition of irrelevant communication or irrelevant conversation. Generally, whenever the meeting happens, if you listen later on, record and listen later on, you will find that somebody says something and somebody picks up some word from his conversation and goes to the some other point which is really not relevant. And then after 15-20 minutes, we understand that we have moved from this point to this, which is really not relevant, which was not in our sphere, which search space where we wanted to really move. So we had moved little further. So that will not happen because everyone is not aligned with those things. Then comes the creativity and exploration. So anything creative, value adding to that system will be discussed. So in dam, suppose somebody will say that we can have a dam which will have a less destruction to the nature, which can be built easily without any disturbing, without using much material. We know that how to build it. We can go for an eco-friendly material. So it's a value addition to that. So everyone will think creatively. Okay, instead of dam, can we have another way to store the water? Well, can we bore the wells and then the water will go to the ground and then we can tap those ground water and all. So all these creative and innovative things will be discussed. So in online education, can we have a cameras on of all and still we get a good bandwidth, and everyone will be made active. So we can have the breaks and the quizzes will be coming and the quizzes will be interesting. So the students will get connected, will remain in the class completely connected. So this kind of innovation, creativity will come. So everyone will try to add some creativity and innovation about that issue. And then the last, that is the first actually, comes the blue hat. So whenever you start that discussion in a group, you have to decide your leader first, right? So somebody will volunteer and say that I would like to lead the team, and he will assume that he is wearing a blue hat. This blue hat person will make a sequence of the hats. Like you have now 5 hats remaining, other 5 hats, like the red, yellow, black, green, and white, right? So he will align like which should be first. First the information should take, or after that information we should go for a creativity, or we should go for a critical evaluation like criticism, or we should go for feelings. So the sequence can be decided as per the application, whether it's a problem solving or whether it's a conflict issue. So you have to decide the sequence. So the process control person will decide the sequence. Again, what is the duty of that process control person is to maintain the decorum. Like whenever there is a positive thinking, like whenever everyone is wearing yellow hat and somebody is just talking about now criticism, so he will stop that person. So now we are wearing a yellow, so you should not talk about anything about a black hat. So we are now in a yellow hat, so yellow hat things should be discussed, like the positive things should be discussed. So the process control, who is wearing a blue hat has got a major role. He or she will be controlling the whole activity in a proper direction. Otherwise, you will not get what you are expected. Again, there will be a chaotic, but not that chaotic which would have happened when you are together and just discussing without any systematic approach. So, any question till now? Because I will be elaborating it again. Any question? Anything you comes to your mind? Are you understanding this thing?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just repeating it. It is a blue hat because it starts with a blue hat, which will know the ground rules, agenda, goals, and scope, and it will manage the situation, control a team, which I have explained you. Then white hat is again like a data, collection of data, information, but relevant. That word must be kept in mind. Otherwise, what happens now? We have a habit of whenever we are asked to speak, म्हणजे माईक जरी मिळाला तरी आपण तासभर बोलतो. Whatever is given to us, we exploit it to that extent. It's a human tendency. So that way it happens. So the data means information to be relevant to the problem. So the blue hat person who is wearing a blue hat continuously will always have a control. Like, okay, this information I don't think so of much relevance, and we can keep it at the down level in the priority. He cannot discard, or he should not discard, because suppose he starts discarding, then that person starts getting disconnected from that group. So whenever you are working in a team, you have to take care of everyone's emotional intelligence, social intelligence, then the group intelligence, everything. Then that leader will be a good leader. So green hat, I just said that it's about the innovative ideas, creative ideas. I will just take a minute and I will explain you the difference between creativity and innovation, because these two terms comes very often to you, and then we get stuck up like which is called as a creation and what is called as an innovation. So I will give an example, like when there was no traffic at all, like the people were just traveling by bullock cart or by walking. They used to go from one place to another place. So there was no traffic density, nothing fast vehicles. Like everyone's speed is in a controlled way. So we never realized the signal point, the traffic point at all, right? But then slowly, what happens that the traffic density starts increasing, and then even the roads have been made, which were they initially only the simple raw roads थे, अभी नहीं है, तो the constructed roads are there. Then a point has come where you can call it as a square or a circle, and then you realize that it should be controlled. So it should be controlled means some person will stand there and he will or she will control the traffic. Just go this side it will go, then that side it will stop, like that. So there's some logic, and then the person will control that. So the idea of having some person, some square was a creativity, like it was a first time it has come. Then what has happened? The value addition come. Like first the person was standing. Then what has happened? The poles have come with the big bulbs, the yellow bulbs, and then they are painted as a red, green, painted literally. We have seen in childhood. The big bulbs painted red, blue, and red, green, and orange. And then what used to happen that sometimes it won't work also, because the electricity was also not so available. Then what happened? Then those bulbs gone. Then colored bulbs has come. The size is reduced. Then the LED has come. Then with the LEDs, the timer has come. Now you know that how many seconds you will be there. Okay, what has happened now? The small concept, which was the first concept which has come, now you are adding a value. So this is called as innovation. You are adding a value into it and making it more convenient, comfortable, useful to the society. Then now there are some robots also. Like in Indore and all, I have seen the robots. The man as good as the man is standing, and then with the hand he is stopping and then allowing others to go and all. So these are all innovations. So something which is added for a value, like some value is added, then it is called as an innovation. And the creativity is the first one which has come into the existence, like an aircraft. So first aircraft which was you can say a vehicle which was flying. So that is aircraft. That was a creation. Something is flying. It was just assumed like similarly like a bird. Now there are many value additions that happen, and now all are automatic, and now even coming with lot of automation, lot of control, lot of you can say fault tolerance and everything. So these are all innovations. So innovations and creations are different. These two different things. And you have to be, if you want to be a really entrepreneur or enterprising, then you have to be creative or innovative, right? At least innovative. So innovation cannot come from theory or just reading the books only, but it will come when you work on a project or when you start thinking systematically. That's why there are courses like a design of thinking and all. So it's all about a thinking strategy. How do you do? I have, in my experience of teaching, I have seen that the students are very good when the ready-made material is given. Like if I say, no, there is a two-tank problem and you have to write down the mathematical modeling of it, the students are quite good into it, writing down the differential equation, putting it. If I little bit change the shape of the tank, if I give them the actual tank, घर में जो दो टैंक होते हैं ना, ऊपर पानी भरता है, नीचे भी होता है, and if I ask them like now write down the mathematical modeling of this two tanks, they are the similar one which was in a lab, like two tanks, एक के पानी आ रहा है, दूसरे में जा रहा है, दूसरा circulate होके आ रहा है. But if I ask them on a real plant, then they get stuck up because we have not doing the things systematically, because we are not applying it to practical things. So the creativity and innovation will increase when you work on your own, when you try to apply it, when you try to realize it in a practice, a small thing when you try to realize it in practice, then your creativity and innovation will definitely increase. The other thing which is very good, which now a lot of literature is also coming on that, going to the nature and spending your time with nature also helps you to improve your creativity and innovation. So when you go into the nature and your mobile is off and you are just observing nature, so once you do it and your creativity and you will be very innovative, it's not like that. But you will slowly start observing the things, noting the things, and then relating it with something, and somewhere you will find it that you can apply it also. So that is also one of the way you can do increase your creativity and innovativeness. Then yellow hat, you have to be very positive, but you have to discuss all the positive part of it. And then red hat, I said it's all feeling. So the color itself indicates it. You have to tell your heart about, like you have to open up the heart and say okay, because it's with the feeling. Like when I was trying to come to the class, because I could do it because of Aryan, because Aryan last time came to me and then he said I want you to do it. So right now I was really from the morning, not a single minute I am free, but it was a connection. It's a feeling that I wanted to do. It was not a mandatory, or it was not into my salary, right? That's why I am doing. It's about the feeling. It's about the feeling that I wanted to do it because the people have said and they feel that it is important to understand. So it is about the feeling, right? After this also I have a meeting with director sir, and then I will be going back home. So it's about, still I am very happy to do it because it's a feeling. Then the black hat is negative, like what can go wrong. That is also very important because engineer has to think about what can go wrong. Other engineering itself includes us, but the other part, we are very very much blessed that we have to, like engineering people are very much blessed because our curriculum teaches us that what can go wrong, so that you can find out a solution, you can solve the problem. So automatically we start finding out the things which can go wrong. Okay, so this is the sequence which I said, that any sequence you can find it out. It's a continuous process, and as much you do, you will improve upon it. The major role the blue hat person will play because he will be like formulating a sequence and all. So these are the companies which uses 6 hat techniques in their 6 thinking hats in their regular practice. They practice it regularly. Then like they have, the Siemens have the 35 certified 6 hat instructors. So much they believe into this thinking. And so in a group, how will you do? As I explained you, but still you can go through it. Assign a group moderator, and then ask he or she to wear a blue hat because blue is for that. And then you can arrange, make interesting as you can make it. Like I said, like if you have a hat, small hats, you can put and say that okay, yellow is there. This will help you in keeping like onto the same point. Otherwise, many people are not so stable. Even they are looking at this, they must be thinking 2-3 things. So even the leader is saying that wear a blue, wear now the green. But some few of them might be in a yellow only. That was the last one. So they will not come out of that. So you have to be very, leader has to be very strong for that. So this way you can form the groups, subgroups, and that's it. Now this I was telling about the group, but it can be applicable to individual one also. Suppose if I want to take some decision whether I should do a GRE or whether I should go for a management courses, whether I should go for a PhD program and become a professor or should I become an entrepreneur. So there are many conflicts going on as an individual also, right? What should I do? Like there are many. I'm just giving you very simple things, but maybe your problems may be little different also. So you individually also you can think about. So anything coming to your mind, you can go systematically. Now the blue hat will be yours only. So you are the only blue hat. So you will be keeping a sequence of the making a sequence and going systematically through that sequence of the hat, and you will be noting it down, and then finally you will understand what should I do, because you will understand that how many blacks are there, how many yellows are there, how many greens are there, and how many and how it is supplementing the white part, that is the information. Okay, so you will automatically understand that, and then you will decide what is to be done. So so there was one example. A coffee house is getting a growing number of complaints from customers as they are having a wait too long for their coffee. So how to solve this problem? This is a problem. So this problem was thrown, and then the blue hat will be like making a sequence. So the sequence can be anything, and then they will do the brainstorming. And white hat, now the first is a white hat, they have selected, and what they will be doing, they will be asking the questions like how long does it currently take to make a coffee. So all these are the information about it. So how long it will take, how can it be done quicker, do solutions exist, and if they do, what impact would they have on speed. So all kinds of questions related to the information about the coffee making, right, and the delivery. So this will be collected. Then there can be a green hat, and you will be thinking about what creatively you can do it. So is there a coffee machine that can make a coffee quicker than our current machine? Because information you have now. Our coffee machine makes 15 minutes. It takes 15 minutes to make. So is there anything innovative idea, or can I have an innovative idea, something like that, two machines working simultaneously? But when can I consider? When I have a data. If I'm not getting a too many customers and I'm just like investing in two machines will not be really a good solution. So the data, the white hat must be used very strongly, right? So such kind of questions will be asked when there is a green hat. So here the leader has selected white and then green. Okay, then the yellow hat. So what is the optimistic way? So what are the ways in which this idea can improve our speed in making coffee? Because we have discussed the ideas, not in green. So now we can think about yellow and black and the fillings, right? So that way the sequence was white, green, and the yellow. Then what are all the positive outcomes that can come from this idea, and what are the reasons why we should implement this idea? Okay, so these questions will be answered in a group discussion. So these questions the group leader may not ask, okay, but his purpose to brainstorm will be to get the answer from the people in this way. Okay. Then red hat will give you the negative feelings. What are the negative feelings? What things could go wrong? Then why don't like this idea? And all these things will be written down in the whenever the group is wearing a red hat. Then the black hat means, will this go wrong in practice? Are there ways to mitigate the things that could go wrong? Can we mitigate the things? Do we have solutions available for the wrong things which are going to be wrong way? Then is there any evidence to say that something will go wrong? So all these questions will be answered in a brainstorming by the group when they are wearing a black hat. And this once again I'm telling that this is a very like important role of the blue hat who is wearing. He has to drive this. And then blue hat will compile all these things, collect all these things, and he will compile and he will come out with some solution. Okay, so this way it happens. Now this is the website, one of the website I just mentioned. There are many good websites. There is a very good book by Edward Dibono on lateral thinking. You can purchase it, read it. You can purchase one copy, circulate it. Maybe now e-books are available. Maybe you can, I think, break the code and all. But purchase good books and keep in your library, because collection of books is a really good habit. And so this is all about which I wanted to explain to you. And again, as the seniors know it, that I generally don't give the session, but I just give an assignment also. So you have to form the group, and group may be of 6 to 7 students, like coming together on your own choice, and then you have to take any topic which you want to get resolved or to have a discussion upon, and then you please write down, compile the things, and you can submit it to me. So I will also understand whether you are really understanding in a proper way or not. So somebody is interested, I don't want to be in a group and I want to do it individually, even you can go for individually. But I will suggest to go in a group, because these days the team spirit, teamwork is getting really, we are missing on it. Whenever there is a team of even 4 students for a project, everyone complains about the other. And then there will be a group of 2 and 2, ये हमको बताता नहीं है, ये खुद ही आके बोल के जाता है, then I do not know what she is doing, and these girls are always discussing about parties and all. So all kinds of things happen in even the team of a 4, right? So we have to improve upon a teamwork. So there is a one small story you may all be knowing, but I will just quote it here. How teams are important. So there was a competition of rowing, like you have a regatta like that, and there were 2 teams, Japan and India. The country's name is for the understanding purposes, right? Don't take it in a very red hat kind of a thing. So just to have some distinction. And then what happened that Japan won and India was the runner-up. So our all officials felt that okay, we can also be winner. Now we are runner-up means we are very close to winning. And what can we do? So there was a commission set up, and the commission did all the exercise. We can consider that in a 6-hat way they might have done. So white hat tells them that very good information, that in a Japanese boat there was only 1 captain and everyone was rowing. But in Indian boat there was 4 captains and the others 4 were rowing. So that was the like some point they could find it out. So next time, so they wrote a comment that the captain should be at least 2 and the other should be rowing the boat. So that was decided. But when the next time the competition came, as it is our country, again we lost and we were runner-up. And again the commission set up, and then the commission realized that the suggestion was that 2 captains and the 6 were rowing the boat, but actually what happened, there was a 6 captains and 2 were only rowing the boat. So this way how our team works, right? So we don't have a team, we don't want to work as a team member. We always feel that if I am working as a team member, then I am not keeping my standard, or I am not keeping my what you can say, the leadership. It's not like that. You can be a leader as a team member also, and the leader can be a failure being a leader also, right? So leader, what is a leader and what is called as a leader is a very good, there's a very good patented video by IIM Bangalore. If you get an opportunity to watch this, you just go through that. So they have made a video which is very popular and used popularly in even Harvard institutes and in many industries which are related to the Harvard. They are using the IIM Bangalore clip of explaining the leadership, where they have compared 2 animals. One is the lion and the other is the elephant. So lion is not a great leader, but the elephant is a great leader, because elephant always go in a herd, lion also go, but in lion what happens, the other members work for the male lion and they do the all shikar and all, and the male will the main leader, who is lion leader, will only eat. And very bad habit into that group, the first the leader will eat and then the others will eat. In an elephant herd, the smaller elephants will get the feed, and then the larger one. So there is no leader. ऐसा कुछ concept वहाँ पे नहीं है, ऐसी कुठली concept नहीं. So on various parameters they have compared the elephant and the lion. Whenever they are moving or crossing whenever there is some like deficiency of water or something like that, and they are moving, they are migrating. So what will happen? The elephant will move in such a way that the weaker one, the smaller babies, those are weak. That is the concept of weak. So weak will be protected by the younger ones, like a stronger one. But in lion, as there is no protection to weaker one. So in a group, if the weaker is not protected, so that leader will not be called as in a true spirit, a true leader. So on various parameters, because that will take 1 hour. So on various parameters, they have compared and they have said they have identified the attributes of the leader. What should be the qualities of the leader? Like caring for the weaker ones, giving the protection to them, then allowing the others to take a benefit and be at the last, like that. So this is all about from my side. Any questions if you would like to ask, please let me know. Yeah, please feel free, because this is not again a class. You can talk to me anything. Yeah.
The person who has the blue hat, so he won't be wearing the other hats, right?
Yeah.
So what if he has like his own inputs and stuff? So won't that
He can contribute. He can always contribute. There is no restriction on his contribution. But he will be more into his role will be to control the process.
And throughout the duration of the project, like whenever we are applying the 6-hat technique, the guy wearing the blue hat will not change, right?
No.
From the start to the end.
He should not be changed, or she should not be changed. Because otherwise the whole perspective will change. Like again the conflict will start. At least for that particular process. You can go into the iteration then.
As an individual who is wearing the blue hat for individual problems, there will always be a bias. How do you remove that bias?
Yeah, it's difficult, but see, when we are alone and thinking about ourselves in a systematic way, we are very honest to us. But when we are in a group, if I want to present myself to you, then I will be biased one, because I wanted to keep my image, right? But when I am introducing to myself, then most of the time we are very honest to us. That is called as the know yourself. So knowing yourself is a good exercise which we should do. Every time it is said that, like mind theory or everything, that know yourself. That time we generally do not tell lie to us. But if you ask me to present yourself, then present me to you, then it will be a biased. Then if I am not a time-keeping person, so I will say I am very punctual, because I don't want to spoil my image, right? Even if I am not so kind, I will say I am very kind. I will always be a very kind and loving person, like that. But maybe I am totally different. So because generally what we want it to be, we show it to the world. But what we are actually is something different. That's the conflict goes into our mind. Everyone's like, no one is. But how much is the error matters. Like the error should not be too big. If error is too big, the controller need to be very strong.
Oh, ma'am, if I may.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, this actually something that is bothering from the last example that you've used. So you said that elephants protect the weaker and lions don't. So in that case, aren't we depriving the weaker a chance of falling and then rising back up?
No, yeah, there's a good question. It's not about strengthening them, means pampering them, right? Whenever there is a small kid who is trying to walk, so that time he fails many times. But the parents encourage them, right? But don't discourage them, or don't give a support. It doesn't happen that the parents are not giving a support. Sometimes, if he or she is falling, we give a support and try to be on their foot. But there's a thin line between it. You have to give a support, means like somebody is weak. Like suppose the deer is weak. right? Weak in the sense what? They are, they can be a prey to the tigers. The tiger is more strong, muscular that way. So what happens? The weaker is the deer in front of a tiger. So he that should be given a protection. It doesn't mean that the weaker should be pampered. No, it is not. In that case, there is another. I said, no, it will take 1 hour. In that case, lion won't teach the others what should be done, but the elephants, they teach their babies, like they throw them into the water and they ask them to swim. They ask them to take their food from the top. So they watch and they do, but the lions, they won't. So there is a typical khicha khichi, but the elephants, they are quite systematic in that. Yeah, you wanted to?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that you have person need to give a conclusion to the discussion or something.
Yeah.
And then he has to give a proper conclusion.
Proper conclusion is it is not his conclusion, right? You have written the positive part, you have written the negative part, you have written the feeling part. So you all maybe now understanding what is the intersection of it. Only that part he will be presenting, and the others can correct also. Suppose he is not able to draw it correctly. The intersection of all this. It's nothing which is something different, but just a systematic way to be in a group.
Also, ma'am, how much should the time over which we apply 6-hour technique to some project, some problem statement, or some solution, how long should it last ideally, the process?
Nothing as mentioned anywhere, but see, the survey or the research tells us that anything beyond 20 minutes we cannot concentrate, right? Even if it is a class of 60 minutes, we say that 60 minutes, but the people can only take 20 minutes thing. The 40-minute things goes here and there, right? And then, so 20 minutes is the proper time. That's why whenever you look at the Coursera or the MIT videos, they are not like a NPTEL videos like going for 1 hour. The 20 minutes fight they give you, and it goes into your mind, you go perfectly, and then, so that is the basically thing. But now, as an Indian, we are from the beginning, from the childhood, we are taught to think like that, like talk much thing. Like somebody is asking you to say this, you have to say so many things. So whether it's a relevant, irrelevant, whether it's I am the owner of that thought or not. So that, but slowly it develops. Slowly. Now you can see the changes in among ourselves also. No, that it changes. We get matured. So any other thing? Yeah.
Ma'am, you mentioned about creativity and innovation, and how is the word invention different from these two things?
Yeah, invention is something again you are doing something new. Innovation and creativity is not new. Like I just keep in traffic problem, there was nothing new. Everything was existing, right? Just an idea which has given us the some path. Invention is something new is coming, like a hydrogen-based batteries and all. So hydrogen fuel, ethanol fuel cell. It's a new thing. You can think about the person who has invented is a creative person. You can say like that. Because without creativity, he cannot invent that thing, right? And once the invention has happened, then the innovation will start, because the other people will keep adding the value into it, innovating it, right? Like a PV panel has come. Then many people have come with the PV, with the water pipes below the PV to maintain. So that's the innovation coming. But the first the photovoltaic cell has come, that was the invention, and the mind is creative, like something should happen like that. Yeah.
Ma'am, is it expected from the blue hat to give equal weightage or importance for the remaining hats? Like, all are there, right? So, do we expect the blue hat to give the equal contribution in the decision making? Like, sometimes the creation or creativity and innovation may be
like very sounding very good but very impractical. So at that point, if we give it equal importance,
No, it's not like that. Nothing like. See, I have in my first slide I said mindfulness, right? So it's a mindful involvement. Nothing equal and nothing like there is no proportion as such.
So
You have to involve ourselves like a mind completely meaningfully, like it's that. It's like suppose 5 points about negative, so there should be 5 positive, nothing like that. There may be a 2 negative, 5 positive. Like there will be 2 coming out with the black hat and the 5 coming out with the yellow hat. Maybe 6 coming out of green. They don't mind.
but if the black hat has like very strong points, then we should actually drop the decision.
Yeah, then your decision will change because the intersection will be more black, no?
So
So
it's more on the strongness of the issue rather than the.
correct, which we could not have done in a just a chaotic way. But when you write it down, you understand. Okay, it's going on this side, and everyone has contributed for everything. Otherwise, by bias, I will say yes only, yes. But if when I started writing it, then you understand. Okay, the positive points are more. Okay, I understood the negative points are more. Or sometimes they happen. Okay, it's an emotional thing, so it has to be tackled in a different way. Right? Yeah.
Ma'am, what if the group has a bias? Like majority of people have bias, then more ideas will come on the black side and less ideas.
So that is the role of a blue person, like blue hat. He should throw a question and try to control the group that it should not be biased.
And ma'am, where more mind.
That's why I have shown you the questions, right? So the questions which I have shown you about the coffee shop. So it's a the blue hat person's responsibility to throw the questions when it is going one-sided. But sometimes अगर आपने ऐसा कुछ question पूछा कि should there be a terrorism in India? So who will say yes? Right? So whole the group will be, then you will say it's a bias. So obviously you should not have the problem statement like that. Or something like that, the efficiency should not increase. Who will, like that. So your problem statement then should be properly designed. Okay. So I hope that you will make groups and you will write down about it. I know that you are too busy with your assignments and all, but I will tell you that this kind of exercises like sharpens your brain, and then that can be utilized in your technical courses also. So I expect those things from you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Aryan, for initiating this. Lectures from the morning and then again the session. So really appreciate your stamina and participation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your expertise. I'm sure that your remarks fuel some ideas that will benefit our students in years to come. So I request you all to kindly scan this QR code and fill out the Google form to know more about the projects. Moving on behalf of TCC, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Archana Thosar Ma'am for finding time to be with us today. A sincere thanks to the audience and everyone else who made this event possible. We hope that today's session was valuable and will encourage you to explore more and spark inquisitiveness in you. We strongly stand by our tagline, where talent meets expertise, and we strive to achieve the same. Please do check out TCC on all social media platforms. Thank you once again. Have a great evening.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.